Live from Free Play Denton, joined by two co-hosts tonight, which I think collectively weigh less than I do in total. So, excuse the frame. I just am huge. That's why I take all the frame. This is Free Play Emily to my left. Emily, introduce yourself, please.
I am a bartender at Free Play Denton. I've worked here for 3 weeks. I love beer. I love arcade games, and I am glad to be here. Thank you, guys.
Solid. How long have you been a bartender overall? Were you a bartender before here?
No, this is my first bartending job.
Is it really?
Nice.
Yeah, but I love
Awesome.
beer and I love arcade games. So.
And you didn't work at other Free Play locations?
I did not.
Okay.
No, this is
Cool.
my first location.
Welcome to the Free Play team. I am not on the Free Play team. I just happen to be here a lot.
Hey, that's fucking awesome.
And to my right is Josh Davis. Josh Davis is my beer manager at Civil Pour, a coffee and beer ruckus. Josh, say hello.
Yo, yo, yo. That's
Josh,
what I do.
Tell us what you're drinking tonight.
I'm drinking Firestone's FPHops. It's a pale ale because I love pale ales and more people should love pale ales.
C is in the letter
should.
C.
C, yes. FPHops.
I agree with Josh.
About the pale ale.
Yes.
It's an easy drinking beer.
Yep.
Very overlooked though.
Yes.
People go
Very
for the
overlooked.
IPAs, which are higher in alcohol, typically.
Yeah.
All right.
They're great, but gotta get that pale ale for your everyday drinker.
Well, one of the reasons why we're here tonight is Swagapalooza at Free Play Denton. Swagapalooza is the sort of middle of the week celebration for this grand opening week that we're doing here at Free Play Denton. And tonight they're giving out swag all night, things like koozies and craft beer. Sometimes they'll have tin tackers and T-shirts, and hundreds of dollars of merchandise is being given out. Our esteemed producer, who's off camera, but can be on camera, I'm sure. There he is.
Chris.
All you have to do is challenge Chris to any game in the arcade. If you beat him, you get a great game.
Probably after 9 o'clock.
Oh, after 9 o'clock.
After 9 o'clock.
I'm a little busy at the moment.
So not during the podcast. Challenge Chris to any game. If you beat him, you get a great prize. If you don't beat him, you still get a prize. It's just not going to be one of the more fabulous things. And I have tried to beat Chris at many games, and there are very few that I can succeed at. So good luck to all of you out there that try that. Anyhow, moving on. The rest of this week is actually kind of jam-packed with some other great events, too. Tomorrow night, free admission with any Alamo Draft House ticket stub from a 1987 movie titled Miami Connection. Do you know anything about this, Emily?
I've never seen this movie, but I'm going to see it tomorrow at Alamo Draft House at 7:30. So anybody who's interested should totally be there. I will be there, as well as some other Free Play employees. So
Awesome.
if you guys just want to hang out with us and see a cool movie, you should totally be up at Denton Alamo Draft House.
So I wanted to jump in here. This is Chris, producer Chris. When we talk about Miami Connection. So I'm assuming no one's heard of this, right?
I've never seen it.
prior to
I've
being
heard a
here.
little bit about it.
I have never heard of it before, so I'm gonna try something a little off the script here. We're going to kill the audio on our mics, and you're gonna bring up a browser over here, which is already up, and you're gonna see a live reaction. Hold on before you hit play, so I can get the audio to the stream as well.
To Miami Connection.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We have a special treat for you today. We have a new house band with a new dimension in rock and roll. We have the one, the only, Dragon Sound!
Against the ninja, we will fight the battle to win. Against the ninja, we will fight to battle the sin.
This band is the only family I had. They're all black belts in Taekwondo and they're pretty bad.
I don't want you to mess it up by going out with a second-rate musician like that John character.
They came in here to play goddamn songs for kids!
We will stop the senseless killing. We will end this civil war. We will stop the senseless killing. We'll even not the
Not escape the Miami Ninja!
against the ninja. We will fight the battle to win against the ninja. We will fight to battle to sin against the ninja. Against the ninja.
Boss, everybody's dead. Friends through eternity, loyalty, honesty will stay.
I'm excited to see this.
The Red Band trailer.
I'm a little confused by what I just saw. 1987 was apparently the release date, but then I think it was like re-released in 2012 is what I was reading. And they're playing this, I think at a 2B. Is it going to be playing tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay.
It's 7:30 p.m. at Alamo Drafthouse.
Let me just read you guys this description of this ridiculous movie you just saw a trailer for. A martial arts rock band, this is already ridiculous, goes up against a band of motorcycle ninjas who have tightened their grip on Florida's narcotics trade. So this is apparently a drug war between a rock band that does martial arts and some motorcycle ninjas. Lots of martial arts. It actually
The things.
has a 67% on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty solid for a movie that looks really crazy. I don't know what's happening. But bring your movie stub if you have purchased it. If you have not been to the movie yet, bring your proof of purchase to Free Play and get free admission tomorrow night. Save $5 and get to see an awesome movie at the same time. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Last but not least, if you have a Free Play shirt, or if you don't have one and you want one, and you wear it this weekend, either the 10th, 11th, or 12th, $1 admission to the arcade for anybody wearing a Free Play shirt. And I can tell you that these are the high-quality American Apparel shirts
Oh,
that you
American
want to
Apparel.
wear.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's pricey.
They are, but I think Free Play charges anywhere from $16 to $20 for
That's
a
not
shirt.
bad at all.
depending. Yeah.
$14 for the summer
Say what?
shirts, and then
Medium?
$24 for the V-necks.
Awesome. I'm a 2X, so whatever two of these humans is, that's my size.
Still $14 though for
Oh.
the summer shirts.
Wow,
So
that is-
no matter what size you are, like don't worry.
It's a great price for an American Apparel t-shirt, honestly. It's really good.
So Josh, since you're on the podcast joining me again, talk to us a little bit about some of your favorite beer styles that you're enjoying during the summertime.
Favorite beers during the summertime? Well, I don't really change a whole lot over the year, except for maybe during the summer I drink less dark beer, fewer stouts and whatnot. I'm always drinking IPAs and pale ales and double IPAs. Love Hefts, Wits and Hefts. My and pale ales, my go-to summer beers.
Those are
for
all
sure.
good go-to summer beers.
My God!
Oh,
Oh,
we
that's
got some
here we go. Thank you.
Merch. Oh, very nice.
Look at that thing.
I'm just going to show this off real quick because this is a very cool shirt. I actually do not own this one.
That
I
is
own
an
the-
amazing shirt.
If you don't own this shirt, you should, because the owner Corey designed this shirt.
He did.
And it's super 80s.
Very 80s.
So if you love 80s design, like this is the perfect shirt for you.
It's a
It's a
wonderful t-shirt.
Really nice shirt too. I mean, these American Apparels are just my favorite.
I'm gonna wear the hell out of that
Looks
thing.
good on everybody.
I expect you to wear it regularly.
I'm gonna wear it tomorrow.
One of the things I also love about Free Play, Richardson, Arlington, Denton, those three cities form the acronym RAD. How cool is that?
Yeah.
And that's such an 80s
I
word.
didn't even realize that.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't say it's cool. I'd say it's more rad than anything else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
And I guess we have some Denton landmarks in the shirt art too. What's
We
happening?
got the
there?
square.
Is that what's happening?
I don't know if it's the square.
We got the Dallas spinning.
I was gonna say that looks like Reading Tower right there.
Yep.
There it is. There's the
Ah.
courthouse. Yep.
Yeah, the courthouse.
Big Blue.
Okay.
Big Blue.
Nice. I like
And a rocket ship.
the Denton courthouse is right here. You guys can see that. Boop, right on the square. Anyway, let's jump into some beers. Emily,
Yes.
what kind of beers do you drink? Tell us about that.
A little bit of everything.
Okay.
So, if you guys have any questions about what we have on tap, I can answer your questions. Right now, we have a pretty good porter. It's called Kentucky Bourbon Barrel Blackberry Porter. It's so good, guys.
Interesting.
It's a little bit tart for a porter, but it's not super sweet. So if you don't like sweet, like this is the perfect porter for you. We've got a ton of good IPAs on tap. We also have the Cosmic Yacht, which Armadillo Ale is revealing tomorrow at Eastside, but we already have it on tap. We are the first bar to have Cosmic Yacht on tap.
Nice. And rightfully so, as a, I mean, you guys have been sort of welcome to the Denton community.
Yeah, exactly.
So Armadillo Ale Works, for those watching, just recently opened after trying to get their brewery open in Denton for about 6 years, if I had to guess. Probably the longest startup of any business I know of, at least offhand. Those guys are such awesome people. And
Make great beer, too.
that beer is actually on draft right now. They describe that as an 8.8% double IPA. Juicy, tropical, but also extra hoppy at the same time. So this is not a New England style IPA. It's going to be a very aromatic double IPA. I thought it was interesting they describe it as celestial flavors and exotic aromas.
What does space smell like? and taste like?
I don't know, because the beer is called Land Yacht, right?
Yeah, Land
But it
Yacht.
has celestial flavors, sort of I don't know. I'm interested to find out more about that.
Yeah, it's super flavorful. I personally love it. We also have number 30, which is a Galactic Haze by
Hop and Sting.
yeah, Hop and Sting.
Don't worry, we're all here to
It's a
assist.
white IPA, super good. We also have.
also not a hazy IPA.
It's not a hazy IPA.
Called the Galactic Haze, but it is not a hazy IPA.
Yeah. No, dude, I just got a growler of that the other day. We had free growlers on Monday with a fill. Keep track of our Facebook page with all the events that we have going on this week for our grand opening. We also have an Imperial Stout.
Let's go through the list, because I've
Yeah.
actually picked out some of my
For
favorites.
sure, please do.
So let's talk back to back about Lakewood Brewing Company, some favorites of ours. Lakewood Temptress on Nitro.
Yes.
Talk
that's
to
number
us
2.
about Nitro beers, for those that may not know what Nitro is.
So a nitro beer.
If you need help, I can jump in.
Yeah, no, feel free to jump in. All I know is that when you fill it halfway,
Yep.
and don't drink it with the bubbles, not settle, because it will hurt your stomach. But also,
Possible.
we don't do growlers of the nitros because it will not last as long as it will with other beers, if that makes sense.
You guys can do that at Civil Core, right?
We can do whatever we want.
Yeah.
Growler filling robot.
Yeah, the robot does it.
Yes.
Yep.
We can do anything we want.
His name is
including Nitro.
Gruber.
So Nitro, the difference between a Nitro beer and a CO2 beer is typical beer is carbonated with carbon dioxide. Right? That's the bubbles that are in your beer. That's what you're drinking right now. But a Nitro beer uses nitrogen only, and it happens to nitrogen is a little heavier than carbon dioxide, so it sort of sits in solution. It's a little heavier. You'll see the bubbles that actually can tend to fall through the beer as opposed to rising, and it gives a little bit heavier body because of that, and it's a little creamier too.
It is creamier.
I think with the Nitro on the Imperial Stouts, I love that treatment.
Oh, yeah.
Don't you, Josh?
Yeah, it makes it super velvety. I mean, it depends on the beer, but really any beer. I like most beers that I've tried that were actually on Nitro. I thought they all, I don't know, I wouldn't prefer it all the time, but it's a nice change of pace sometimes, like with an IPA on Nitro or something like that.
Right.
It's pretty cool. It's interesting at the very least, if nothing else. So.
Well, and then to jump right into the next thing one of the things I picked out was the peanut butter Temptress. Have
Okay.
you had that yet, Emily?
I have not tried that yet. That must.
Brand new to market. Still 9.1%. Lactose, which is a Imperial milk stout with the addition of peanut butter. This replaces some of the other beers they've discontinued off the lineup, which including the raspberry, sin mint, and the mole Temptress.
They got rid of all those?
They got rid of all of them.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they are removed for the indefinite future, so we don't know if they're coming back.
Okay.
But the peanut butter, I actually really like this. It kind of it really complements the beer nicely.
If you do peanut butter right, it can be delicious.
Peanut butter is my favorite, though.
Yeah?
Yes.
I'm gonna
I
get
love
a
it.
sample of that thing.
Yes, right?
Nutter butters? You like nutter butters?
Yes.
Nutter butters, yes.
Yeah, they're good,
anything
right?
peanut butter. Dude,
Anything peanut butter?
Yeah.
My pre-workout meal is an apple with peanut butter. My wife just says an apple is really just the peanut butter delivery device.
Yes. Peanut butter all day, though.
I love peanut butter. It's not very often in beer, but it's good when it is.
Yeah, if it's done right.
Absolutely.
Ah, Peoria has joined us. That's nice. Love that guy. Free play regular from Arlington. Has driven all the way up to Denton to come check out what's happening here.
He's here for the podcast.
I'm not, he might be.
I think he is.
He might be. He wants to listen in. Let's jump into Mango Smash from Three Nations. Do you know the reason? No, I'm gonna throw some more trivia at you, Emily. Do you know the reason why it's called a smash?
Because it fucking gets you lit.
It's only like 6.5%, I think.
Yeah, it's maybe 7. It's floating like I think it's 6.9 actually.
So it's not in a 10-ounce glass, but it's
Okay.
still pretty strong.
Well, smash is an acronym for, typically, not for this beer, but typically single malt and single hop.
Okay.
That's what a smash usually is. So a Yellow Rose from Lone Pint, which you may have heard of, is a single malt and single hop beer.
Yeah.
But this beer is single malt and 6 hops. So they're kind of twisting that word a little bit to give us something interesting. It's a very tropical, mango forward, pineapple forward. Doesn't have those fruits in it, but it has those
It's
flavors.
delicious.
It's a really, really good, easy to drink beer.
Yeah.
I crush that beer anytime I see it.
Yeah. We're gonna have it a
If
civil
you
pour.
are trying to step into IPAs, like, the Mango Smash is the way to go.
Yeah, it's very
Definitely.
Start with a Mango
Great way to
Smash.
start, no doubt.
very approachable, low bitterness. Got the fruit in there that adds a little bit more of a familiar flavor, so it's not just aggressively bitter. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's quite good.
Well, I think I picked out about 10 or 11 beers to talk about because Free Play Denton, unlike the other locations, has 52 taps, not 4 and 6 like Richardson and Arlington. You guys have 52 taps. No liquor because of the Growler program, which allows
Exactly.
customers to take home beer. Tell us about the Growler program here, because I know that you guys did free giveaways on Monday. But what's the story behind it? I mean, are lots of people taking part in that? Do you guys see yourself selling lots of Growlers?
I think so. We didn't sell out on Monday like I thought we would, but people are loving the Growler idea. We still have the Growler rinse station from Taps and Caps, so all the locals are excited that we still kept the tap wall and that
Yep.
we kept the Growler rinse station. People who are local to the area are just really excited that we're still here, still serving beer, and still selling Growlers here. It's $5 for the bottle with a fill, and then it's $10 just for the bottle if you just want to purchase the Growler.
Got a
Which is
$5
pretty
discount
cool.
on
It's a
beer.
good
Who's going to
design.
do that?
I had some lady the first week that we opened. She just wanted the Growler for her change jar, and I was like, okay, like the design is pretty cool. So I feel you on that. But so yeah, it's only $5 for a fill. We had them for free on Monday with a fill, which is pretty crazy. We sold so many Growlers
That's
with
awesome.
a fill. Yeah, it was a good day.
Very cool.
um,
And one of the things I love about this place is the city of Denton has sort of embraced Free Play Denton already. I mean, this place is packed
Yeah.
every night.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
How many people behind the bar do you guys usually have?
How many people behind the bar?
Yeah. What's
We have
normal
about
for-
2 people behind the bar every night.
What about on weekends? Though?
Weekends, 3 people.
3 people?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that big of a bar, so 3 people. You guys are gonna be busy.
Yeah, it's good though.
It is good. It is good if you're.
I love seeing all the
your bartender.
faces and all the familiar faces.
It's good for that tip share.
It is good. For
Oh yeah.
Emily, do you have a favorite type of game? I know you said early on you liked arcade games, and I don't want to stray too far away from the beer, but what kind of arcade games do you like?
Well, I just beat House of the Dead 2. So
You beat it all the way
before I
through?
came on here, I just beat House of the Dead 2.
Wow.
I
Nice.
love, dude, Galaga, Frogger.
Oh, Galaga, one of my favorites.
Soul Calibur is my shit. I played in the Street Fighter tournament the other week with hosted by Christelle.
Mhm.
Holla. So I got to lead the bar for a little bit to play in the tournament a little bit, so that was cool.
Congrats on beating House of Dead 2. I've never done that, so
Thank you.
that's cool. That's very
It
cool.
was pretty fucking awesome. So
Josh, what about yourself, man? Are you an arcade player? I know I've seen you at Free Play a
Yeah.
couple times.
I like Asteroid. I like Galaga. I mean, they're all old school games, but I mean, I don't know, the classics really. I love House of the Dead and Time Crisis. Any kind of shoot 'em up game, that's my deal. Galaga, Street
That's
Fighter.
your shit?
Oh, that's my shit.
Okay.
Primarily, I'll post up at Galaga for a long time, or Asteroid. Love those games.
Cool.
yeah.
Let's jump back in the beer list. The next one I wanted to talk about was this beer I had not heard of called Tropsicle from Collective Brewing Company.
We will have that at Civil Core.
Whoa, wait.
Nice on the list.
I'm excited about it.
You didn't say no to it.
It's a 4.5% ABV tart IPA with guava, grapefruit, and cascade hops.
Yep.
I love anything that's tart IPA because when you mix hoppy and sort of tart at the same time, super interesting flavor combination. Have you tried that Epic
Tart and Juicy.
Tart and Juicy? Have you tried that one?
The which one?
Epic Tart and Juicy?
I have not, but I tried the Tropsicle. It's really refreshing.
Is it?
Yes.
I mean,
it's
I
so
have to
light.
go for
it's
that.
refreshing. If you are just stepping into IPAs, Tropsicle is a really good one to start with.
I'm curious about it. I mean, you
just gotta try it, dude.
got to have a real assertive hop profile if you're gonna do a sour IPA, because the flavors of this, like the tartness and the hops, really complement each other if you do it right. They can work against each other if you do it wrong, but in the right way, the hops add to the tartness and with the citrusiness, that kind of brings out more tartness, and they just play really well together, those flavor profiles. So
the Tropsicle is citrusy,
Yep.
but it's not as hoppy as some other IPAs. So you're not going to get as much bitterness, but it is really refreshing. You still get that citrus flavor. It's really light. It's just a good way to go if you're starting out with an IPA.
Yep, totally agree. Moving on from that, I think you were going to mention this, the Manhattan Project Plutonium 239.
Is that the...
You said something about
that's the
porter.
coconut porter.
That is the coconut porter. 6.2% ABV.
Yeah, as far as coconut goes, it's pretty good.
It is.
Coconut is a hit or miss as far as flavoring, but the Manhattan Plutonium is really good.
I think it's amazing. And in fact, Manhattan Project is a pretty small brewer in Dallas.
Yep.
They're actually working on getting out their own space, but they're currently brewing out of Bitter Sisters in Addison and working on getting their own place. Sort of, I don't want to say design district, but it's sort of over there like Chicken Scratch and look at Trinity Groves, and it's sort of in that area.
It's Trinity Groves. It's like right in Trinity Groves. Yeah.
Okay. But these guys make consistently some of the best beer in DFW. There's actually another Manhattan Project beer I want to talk about before we move on from the Plutonium 239, which I just want to point out kind of plays along with that Manhattan Project name. You know, they're talking about elements, I guess, maybe. Plutonium.
Yep.
It's element number 239. So playing off that with their name. But, Josh, talk to me about Manhattan Project Double Half-Life.
I actually have not had Double Half-Life.
You have not?
No, I've wanted to try it so many
It's so
times.
good.
I know.
so good.
I've heard a million good things about it, but every time I've wanted to try it or someone's talked to me about it at the bar that we were at, did not have it on tap.
Well, they have it here.
Or it just ran
We
out.
got it
I know
on
it's
tap
here.
too.
I just wanted something light for now, just while we're doing this deal.
Well,
But
Emily, that's not in a pint, right?
It should be in a 10-ounce glass.
I would think so.
Like
At
a 10 ouncer?
8.8%.
That's yeah. It's gonna be in a 10-ounce glass, but it's so good. So Belgian pour.
Yes.
Yes.
And this is a very close to New England style IPA. It's going to be more on the juicy side of things, less traditional style. So if you want to get into IPAs, this is another great one because the higher alcohol makes it a little bit sweeter, and those hops are just not going to be bitter. They're going to be dry hopped instead of added to the boil, so it's added later. prevent some of those bitter alpha, they call them alpha acids, from making that beer bitter. When you have a sort of traditional IPA, I think of Stone Brewing as that really bitter
Green Flash
West
Stone.
Coast IPA or Green Flash. It's nothing like those beers. It's very different. If you wrote off IPAs a long time ago, go try Manhattan Project Double Half-Life, because it's delicious stuff.
I think they claim the New England style, right?
I think they do, but it's got a little bit more clarity, I think, than a traditional New England hazy IPA. It's not that hazy, but it has that flavor profile and that smell. So.
It's also really soft because it is primarily a wheat. I'm not sure if it's 50% or more, but they do a whole lot of wheat in the malt build. So
awesome. Very cool.
Almost a white IPA, but just jam-packed with hops.
And Emily, Chris has wanted me to tell you to not besmirch coconut. Don't besmirch coconut. Terrible thing to do.
It doesn't always work, but it works.
I mean, hey.
It works here.
There's nothing that always works, right?
What?
Is there anything that always works?
I
mean, if you put, like, chocolate and...
everyone likes a good blonde.
Together.
Everyone likes a good blonde.
I don't really like a good blonde, honestly.
I don't like a good blonde either. But
well, you just said everyone
not
does.
Everything works.
100% of the people that
the majority of people do like a good blonde. Unless you really, really, really love beer, and then you're just like, okay, something other than blonde.
Pilsner. There you go.
In fact, that reminds me of a local brewery, Turning Point from Bedford, came out with a beer named the lightest beer that you have. And the reason they did that was so when people come in and say, give me the lightest beer you have, they can say, oh, I'm happy to give you that beer. I will give you the lightest beer that you have because we have a beer named that. It's amazing.
It was great. It's a great name. One of the best names that I've heard locally for sure.
Oh, it's awesome.
Clever.
Moving on from that, Josh, I know this is one of your favorite styles of beer, Martin House True Love.
Love it.
Tell us all about what kettle sours are.
Oh my gosh. Well,
This is a fruited kettle sour beer.
Kettle sour, not going to be barrel-aged sour. You can know that for sure whenever you hear kettle sour. They use lactobacillus. I'm not a brewer, so I'm gonna struggle through this. But I know. Man, you got to help me out here. I'm trying to remember the exact process. Well, you can use pediococcus too. But it's typically lacto.
It's going to be added to the whirlpool, right?
Yeah.
And it's going to be boiled. So all of those bacteria are going to impart their flavors. When you boil it, it gets rid of the bacteria, right? So it kills the bacteria, but the flavors of that bacteria is still there. So it's still going to be sour. Which the nice thing is, it's really, really tough to brew on a clean, because they're going to call these wild beers. They're not clean beers. They don't ferment like a traditional beer. I shouldn't say they don't ferment, but they can infect other beers if you don't kill that bacteria. So they're throwing in this culture that's really the same stuff that you find in yogurt.
Yeah.
Because if you look at yogurt, it's going to say lactobacillus, pediococcus. It's going to be on your probiotics that all the hipsters are buying, myself included, these days.
Yakult.
What?
Yakult.
And so that's what this beer is. It's a kettle sour beer where they're brewing it with souring bacteria that's boiled out, still has those nice tart flavors, but won't affect the brewing equipment for their clean beers.
That's exactly right.
And this is a raspberry sour?
Yes, sir.
5.2%. Delicious.
It's somewhat, if you've had Salty Lady, which most people in DFW has, it's kind of the unsalted version of that with raspberry.
Yeah, I forgot about the fact that it's an unsalted version of that beer.
Just a sour ale, like their current one that's on tap right now, the Cherry Limeade Sour.
Is that on tap here?
Yeah, I just saw it.
Yes, it's so good, guys.
I haven't tried it yet.
Which one is that? What's it called?
Cherry Limeade.
Cherry Limeade, yeah.
Sour.
From Martin House?
Yeah.
That was their last season, though.
I'm going to be drunk if I keep drinking everything.
I don't remember what number it is. I'm sorry, guys. This is my day off.
You set this up?
52 beers here, so...
You set yourself up, man. You're doing a podcast about beer. All this beer talk.
The unsalty lady, yes. It is the... True Love is the unsalty lady. All right. I'm super excited about this next beer. Very pricey beer, so you're not going to drink it every day. Thin River Lavender Blackcurrant.
Yep.
Cider.
Are you kidding?
Are you kidding?
That sells so fast because it's so good.
It's wonderful.
$13 for a pour, though. Kind of expensive.
Yeah.
I think it's at 8 when I was walking up.
It's $8.
Oh, really?
I think it was a smaller pour for 8.
16-ounce glass.
Okay.
But it's the best cider we have on tap.
It's awesome.
It's one of the best ciders I've probably ever had. lavender and black currants. For those that don't know, black currant is sort of a tart, dried, dark fruit that I don't even know. Would you compare it to it's kind of like a cranberry, but it's maybe a little more intense?
Yeah. I mean, it is going to be, it adds a tartness. And the beer is almost like a sour. Like the first time I drank it,
almost like a sour.
I thought, I would never have guessed it was a cider if you had told me, maybe you would just let me guess.
I didn't know it was a cider for the longest time. I just knew it was lavender and black currant. It's delicious.
Yeah.
Well, Finn River only produces the lavender black currant during the summer, so it's a seasonal hard cider. It's really good if you don't like super sweet ciders. It's got so many layers of flavor. And the lavender is just a scent. It's not really a taste. As far as like if you're concerned about lavender being the main flavor that you're sipping on. Yeah, it's very, very, very subtle, and the black currant is stronger than that. It's kind of tart, it's kind of sweet, but not overwhelmingly so, if that makes sense.
The nose affects what you taste in your palate, though. Whenever you're drinking it, what you smell will affect your palate.
Yeah, I've heard that can be 60 to 70% of what you taste is what you actually smell.
Yep.
So it can have a big impact, even though you can only really smell it. You're still going to taste it just because of that fact.
But it's really well done. The lavender's somewhat muted to where it's not overpowering the black currant.
It's very subtle.
Delicious, refreshing, somewhat tart cider.
I've never had anyone tell me that they didn't like it.
Oh, you're not going to send it back because it's just amazing.
Kind of like how everyone
really
likes
good.
blondes. Everyone likes Finn River's black currant lavender cider. Yeah.
I actually gave so one of our local free play players, who many of the stream watchers are going to know, Michael Beltran, local celebrity, Dallas Mavericks season ticket holder since he was 5 years old. He's been a season ticket holder for 35 years.
Wow.
Youngest ticket holder in the history of the Mavericks. Michael Beltran is a local Sagat player and not a big drinker, but occasionally he will enjoy some stuff. We kind of make fun of him because he likes fruity stuff and he only drinks cider. I was like, man, you got to try this. And I gave him that Finn River, and he was just like, what is this? This tastes so good. Even producer Chris, who's not a beer drinker, if he would even never dare to try something, this stuff is amazing, and even Chris would like this stuff. Even if you hate the taste of alcohol, there's no taste of alcohol in this. It's like alcoholic fruit juice. It's so good.
No, and we have an apple cider on tap right now too. It tastes like apple juice. Like,
what is that called?
That one is
Sweet aged apple.
Yes, it's
From
number
Locust.
21 on tap. So
That's what I got out today.
it tastes like apple juice. You better be careful though.
It's on the sweet
'cause
side.
It's alcohol.
It's like a good version of Angry Orchard, honestly. It's
way better than Angry Orchard.
no artificial sweetener. They're from here originally.
Don't even compare.
It's Locust Cidery. They moved to Seattle, started a cidery up there. They actually are, I'm not sure if they're open in Fort Worth yet, but they came back down to open a spot, their only other spot in Fort Worth, because this is their home, and they wanted to bring their cider back to here. So
Well, that's
fantastic. They only really do, their market is like the Northwest down to like some, I think, Northern California, and then here. That's pretty much it.
I did not know that.
Yep.
But I'm glad to hear there's some interesting things about Locust Cider.
Good people, too.
A cidery I just don't know a lot about.
It's two brothers that opened it together.
That's super cool. Argus Cidery from Austin is the exact same way.
Yep.
That is also two brothers. One of them is sort of like a savant mathematician or something like that.
I would assume so. Their stuff's great. I don't know.
We had Argus Cider Can on tap for a little bit. Also very similar to the number 21 that we have on tap right now, the Sweet Age Apple.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's
I know
pretty
you
good.
guys support those guys.
Yes.
Because you guys have typically a pretty fantastic cider program
Yeah.
at Free Play. That's always been a big focal point. Now, did I read right that you had a wine on tap right now?
We do. It's the Angeline Cabernet.
I love Cabernet. Mostly if I'm eating a steak, but I
Yeah.
love Cabernet.
So actually, we've had a lot of people really like our Cabernet. Mostly people who come in to bring their kids in, and they just want to chill for a little bit and shoot some wine. So
You talking about soccer moms?
it's a good drink to have if you're just gonna sit here for a little bit and sip on a drink. We don't have steak here, but you can go get a steak and then come back and drink some wine. So
Or you can go next door and have some
the
wine.
wristbands are good all day, guys.
True enough. You can leave and come back. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They'll even let Josh back in.
Probably not.
Well, it depends on how drunk he is. But.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Let's talk about maybe my favorite beer on the entire wall, Prairie Birthday Bomb.
Oh, the Prairie Birthday Bomb. That's my shit.
It's amazing. These guys are based out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. I think they're actually now in Oklahoma City, so I take that back. Didn't they start in Tulsa? Is that correct?
Yeah, they were in Tulsa. It's like the whole thing with Krebs, right? And that what's going on with them? Like they had Krebs bought them out. It's some kind of weird. They have a weird deal with Krebs.
They were sold to the Pete's something or other, which I guess maybe is Krebs. Pete's is like the barbecue place on site there.
Okay.
The Krebs Brewing purchased them from Chase Healy, the original owner and founder of Prairie, because Chase wanted to start a different project focusing on sour beer. And sour beer, as we talked about earlier, just doesn't mix with a clean environment. So he couldn't do both. I think that's why he divested himself of Prairie. But Prairie makes arguably the best stout within a 500-mile radius of this place.
It's. I mean, it's within states. You're really gonna argue. You can argue within. Best stouts in some of the top 20 stouts in the nation.
Yeah, well, that Prairie Birthday Bomb is consistently rated in the top 100 beers on RateBeer.com.
Birthday Bomb is?
Birthday Bomb.
I don't know that. I think barely.
Bomb.
I was gonna say
regular.
Oh,
Don't be
Bomb.
surprised. It's so good.
Well, I know it's great.
Okay, it's 13% ABV.
Tell us what's in it.
So it's high alcohol content, and then it's got so much flavor.
What's in it?
What?
Tell us what's in it.
I don't know exactly what's in it, but it's got a.
Caramel, right?
So it's got coffee.
It's got
chocolate.
coffee and chocolate.
Vanilla.
Those are the main flavors. Vanilla, yes, but it's light. It's not overwhelmingly so.
And then Ancho chilies as well.
Yes.
I thought Birthday Bomb had caramel in it.
Well, the reason it's called Birthday Bomb is because they add caramel to all of those ingredients. So the base beer bomb has those four, and then Birthday Bomb is the addition.
But don't get me wrong, it's not sweet.
No, it's not.
So.
Not overly so anyway.
I think it's on the sweeter side. I mean, it's definitely not bitter. I wouldn't necessarily call it balanced. I think it was on the sweeter side. I mean, it's
a little bit. It's definitely a sweeter stout. It's not a roasty stout.
No.
It's not a bitter imperial stout.
Nope.
Shout out to Yummy9Sick, who is commenting on the stream. Thanks for tuning in, and thank you for the comments on the Let's Play Gaming podcast. That was a lot of fun. Corey's an amazing host and just kind of made that what it was. So I was super happy to be there. And Civil Poor, co-sponsor of this podcast, also co-sponsor of the Let's Play Gaming Expo Street Fighter 2 tournament. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, Yummy9Sick. I'm sorry I don't know your name, but
it's yummy.
I'm sure it's yummy.
I think it's probably yummy.
Prairie Birthday Bomb, 13% alcohol. You should definitely drink that. It's freaking delicious.
Oh yeah, 2 of those, and I'm a little.
That'll also be at Civil Poor.
Tipsy.
Most of the beers you're mentioning, I already have on my list at Civil Poor. So yeah.
Oh, good. We're on the same page.
Yeah, we're good, man.
Next up, let's talk about Texas Ale Project Bourbon Barrel Caucasian. This is a weird beer, and it's weird because there's maybe only one other beer locally like it. It's a white Russian Imperial Stout. So instead of being dark in color, it's light in color. It tastes like a stout, and it drinks like a stout.
It does, but it's also very sweet.
It's a sweeter beer.
To me, it tastes like butterscotch. I'm not sure if it's the same for anyone else, if that's just my palate, but...
No, I get some of that too.
Yeah, I get a little bit of a butterscotch flavor. I drink it, but it's smooth.
Very smooth. For the 10.5% ABV, extremely smooth.
Yeah. And
I've never had the barrel-aged version.
And it's not bitter. It's really not bitter for a stout.
Definitely not. So this beer has Madagascar bourbon vanilla beans. It has Full City Rooster cold brewed coffee. Full City Rooster is a roaster in South Dallas, just south of downtown. Super neat little place, and aged on American oak. So it's got a lot of stuff going on. And I think they take all of that and then age that in a bourbon barrel for this bourbon barrel version, which I've only maybe ever seen one or two other places. I mean, this is a rare.
They do
animal.
a very small amount of barrels. Like they had literally 2 racks. I think they had at most 9 kegs of not kegs, sorry, 9 barrels of Caucasian aging. Like the last time I went, and they haven't expanded that very much. Like it still has a very small footprint. The barrel age thing, they make it very, very special, and only their best accounts get it. It's once a year, and they just started doing it. Was it last year that they did it the first time?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
I think you're right. Anyway, the last beer on my list here we already spoke about, which was the Armadillo Ale Works Land Yacht, and I don't even know where to go with this beer list because, I mean, I just want to drink all of it.
Yeah.
I want to drink everything on this wall right now. It's delicious. You guys have one of the best beer lists I've probably seen in DFW in quite some time. So, well done to Cody, bar manager here. I think does most of the ordering. I had hoped you'd be here tonight because local establishment Bearded Monk gifted a beer to Free Play Denton.
Yeah.
Well, you're welcome to present that to the audience.
There it is.
This is a beer called West Veteran 8.
Hard to tell. It's no label.
No label.
Yeah, they don't label their beers. And West Veteran is it's a monastery in Belgium. They only sell their beer at the monastery.
Yep.
And you can only go once per month. So what they do is you have to call and reserve your space. You go there, they record your license plate number. You're allowed to buy a case of each beer. And they only have 3 beers, and that's all you can buy.
It's in like a crate, right? It's not like a box.
It's in a wooden crate. Yep. Yeah, it's in a wooden crate.
3 beers, that's all I have?
Well, it's 24 in a case, but they only make 3 beers.
Okay.
Yeah, they make the West Veteran 8, they make West Veteran 12, and then
6,
the other one
right?
is a 6.
Yep.
Yeah, which is their, I think they call it their table beer. That's what the monks drink because it has less alcohol than the rest. But those guys only brew to make money to run the monastery, and they're one of the 12 or so Trappist breweries. It's a certification that's only given to very special brewers. They're a Trappist brewery, no label.
Don't you also have to return your return your bottles? I've heard that you have to not have to.
That's an initiative in the
you get a
country.
euro
There's a
back if you return your bottles.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. Well,
Yes.
well, €1, but they give you I think you have a deposit that you pay essentially,
Yeah,
and you don't have to return them. But if you don't return them, you don't get your deposit back.
Exactly.
Yeah, so anyway, where is the, I'm going to see if I can get this bottle.
There it is.
There we are.
Focus?
It is focused. That's
That
the
was
West
Hi,
Veteran.
James.
Yes, and hello,
We
James.
love you, James.
Thanks for tuning in, man.
Appreciate it.
But yes, please join us at Free Play Den. A lot of things going on right now. This grand opening has been great. I'm really enjoying myself. I'm hoping to grab a couple more beers before I leave here. Maybe grab some games from these local Street Fighter 2 players who are maybe a little less experienced than those of us who have been playing for a couple of years. They won't know what hit them. I'm looking forward to that.
Going and smash some noobs.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Makes me feel good.
So let's move on to some local beer news. We've got about 12 minutes left on this podcast, maybe 15 if Chris lets us push it a few minutes. Let's talk about local beer news. New brewery about to launch is Oak Cliff Brewing Company. I'm really excited about this for a number of reasons. Reason number one, and this is not like every typical brewery opening in DFW. The one thing that's interesting about these guys is their head brewer is a guy named Todd Holder. And Todd Holder comes from Prairie Artisan Ales. Todd is the one that came up with their stout program. So if you want to get some really delicious stouts like Bomb,
Yes.
made locally, Todd's going to do it at Oak Cliff Brewing Company.
Yep. He was at Prairie for 4 years
And-
as their head brewer.
So I know where I'm going.
Yep.
Yeah.
You drive to Dallas.
Yes. And they are doing some launch events. First of all, they got started this idea in 2015. So this is an idea that's been brewing for about 3 years now. Sorry for that terrible pun. Obviously, I got no reaction from either of my co-hosts. Horrible.
I just didn't even register in my head. It's so bad.
We've already had too much beer. I'm sorry.
I need another beer, actually, but we'll wait until the podcast is over.
Another.
But this place is going to be open by the end of August. It's a 14,000 square foot space that's going to be also a co-working space. They call it a co-working village. Their current tenants that are already in the space are a charity, which was unspecified, a church, various artisans at a bakery, and then the brewery is going to be opening at the end of the month.
It's a very, very large building. I actually just went there last week. Huge building. They're on the second story. If you go around the back of the building, there's somebody below them. But it's a massive space, and there's a whole bunch of other, like, I forget what all was there driving up. You just mentioned most of them, but
That sounds really cool.
it is really cool. The location looks fantastic. The owners are fantastic. No, I mean, just everyone that works is pretty much a friend of mine. I didn't know the owners until recently, but they're great people. And let me see what else there is. Doing stuff like a Brut IPA. They have a New England IPA.
Yeah, Brut IPA, for those that don't know what that means, that's a champagne yeast. It's going to be very effervescent, very dry, and I haven't had one yet, but it sounds super interesting.
Yeah, I'm excited. I had one, and it was not very good. But it wasn't. I had two. I had one that wasn't very good. Then I had Todd's, and I was unfinished. It wasn't carved, but it was delicious.
Okay.
So, very excited about that.
So they have some nice beers opening at opening, and you can actually catch the dart rail right adjacent to that building, which is also really nice. And the launch events that they have scheduled so far are Brain Dead Brewing on August 15th. They've got Craft Beer Cellar on August 16th. Dallas Beer Kitchen August 23rd. And not to be outdone, Civil Pour, our place, will be having them on August 29th.
Woo!
So we will be one of their launch events that's going to be happening pretty soon, probably coinciding with about the time they're going to launch that building open. And we are super stoked about those guys because they are, like I said, not your everyday brewery opening. Doing some cool stuff. All right, let's talk about the Denton brewing community. Emily, do you know Barley and Board? Familiar with those guys?
Yes, kind of, but I've never been there.
Have you seen it?
Yes.
Northeast corner of the square.
Yes.
If you ever go in there, take a date. You can do the two dishes I recommend are the pork tenderloin and the burger, and then split them up and just do halvesies. Freaking amazing meal.
The quail is also very good.
Everything in there is pretty good. Those have been some of my favorites, but I'll try the quail.
It's tasty.
I was a poor broke college student, so I've never been there.
It's not the cheapest place on the square. But it's also not the most expensive
It's also owned by Jason Lee, if you don't know who that is.
Wait, the actor?
Yes, the actor.
Jason Lee? I love that guy.
Jason Lee owns Barley and Board. He also owns another restaurant in Argyle, Texas. He is a photographer, skateboarder, actor. Look him up on Instagram.
A nice guy. He's apparently very nice.
At night.
Yep.
He performed at Oaktopia 2013. So
2013?
Yes.
That's awesome. You've been around Denton for a while then.
Yes.
Very cool. All right. Well, Jason Lee was chauffeured around by my sister-in-law at one point. She lives in LA and somehow got the assignment of being Jason Lee's driver for the day.
Whoa.
And he actually let her do like some Snapchatting and Instagram stories and stuff like that. So
that's awesome.
It's kind of cool to just see her rolling around with Jason Lee in the back seat.
I've talked to a bunch of people that have met. What?
Oh, it's just weird how everything just kind of connects to each other.
All connected.
You know? California to Texas. And
yep.
He's back here now taking photographs, Polaroids all across rural Texas. So he's just got a book out.
Oh,
he had a book?
Yeah.
Cool. Wow. He's supposed to be a really nice guy, though. I mean, I've met multiple people locally that talked to him and like met him just randomly at like Midway Mart or something. And he's just like the nicest dude from what I can tell.
Well, as Chris was saying earlier, hashtag good dude applies to Jason Lee apparently as well.
Hashtag good dude.
May or may not be Emily's second evil ex-boyfriend.
Wow. Second evil, but what?
Second evil ex-boyfriend.
I don't have a first evil.
Well, Jason is apparently the
yeah.
Anyway, the reason I brought them up is they are brewing again. Mm-hmm. These guys have not been brewing for over 2 years now. It was early 2016 was the last time they brewed beer. They have a small pilot system that's been sitting idle for some time. And they've kind of got a neat little thing going on. So there's a thing called the Homebrewers League. And the Homebrewers League allows homebrewers to come in and brew on a professional system, kind of get their name out there and try stuff on a commercial system. So Barley and Board is doing house beers with homebrewers. And this month is a beer by a guy named Brian Tiensvold. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I think I've seen this guy's name around the local homebrewing community. He's made a French Saison. which for those who may not know, a French Saison is just going to be dry, again, sort of an effervescent beer, and maybe even a little bit farmhousey or funky.
Yep.
It's going to be the French version of a Saison. So, interesting stuff. Do you think they'll sell you guys some kegs, maybe?
What was that?
Do you think they'll sell you guys some kegs?
What was that?
I said, do you think they'll sell you some kegs?
I hope so.
That would be cool.
I'll drink all of it.
It's your neighbor. Hopefully they'll sell you guys some kegs.
Are they going to distribute?
I doubt it, but I mean, if it was to free play, then perhaps they would.
It's a very small system.
It's free
I've seen
play.
it. I mean,
It's free play.
$5 admission and as many games as you want.
There you go.
Give us
All
some
right.
beer. We'll be good.
Let's move on to the very last topic of the day, which is free play Civil War updates. We just installed our draft system. That has been finished. We fired up the walk-in cooler.
Yep.
Josh has ordered a bunch of amazing beers. He's picked out 60 beers. We only have 25 taps for beers, but what we're planning on doing is constantly rotating our taps. So nobody owns a tap in Civil War. It's not going to be anything constant. It's going to be constantly rotating. But talk us a little bit through what you ordered, Josh, and what people can expect when they go to Civil War.
Well, at Civil War, the main thing is beers that are not available, as you know, that are available in package year-round. That is the main thing. There are a couple here and there, but for the most part, these beers are not available year-round in package. They are either only in draft, seasonal in package, or they're kind of hard to get.
Right.
More rare beers. So a lot of really fancy beers that you won't see everywhere. You can't find them within 25 miles of our location. For the most part, there are a couple here and there, but for the most part, they're very exclusive beers, and they're ones that are typically higher rated. A tad more expensive a lot of the time, because that's kind of what happens whenever you get seasonal beers or hard to get beers. It's going to be a little bit pricier, but there's different size pours, so you can get whatever pour size you want, whatever makes sense for you. But we have our package list that will also rotate. We have some classics like Mosaic and Community, and also their wit beer, All Day IPA from Founders, like some beers that you would typically see that we don't have on draft in package. So you can always get those if you want. You can take beer to go. We have excellent growler fills that are oxygen free, so they can age for a year if the beer will let it. If it's not an IPA, you can let that beer sit. And you can let that beer sit for if it's a stout, you can let it sit for years if you want. But growler fills, 16-ounce growlers, any size growler that you want. Typically, probably not a gallon, but yeah, just the most. I don't know, pretty much the most exclusive beer list that's in DFW, as far as I can tell.
That's the plan. The plan is, because if you walk out the front door of our shop and you look across the street, you're going to see Specs, which is the biggest package store in Dallas-Fort Worth, and we wanted to do something different. We wanted to have beers that were not at that Specs across the street, because people come to a bar to find stuff they can't find elsewhere. At least that's what I do.
Right.
And lots of my friends do that. When they go to the bar, they want to try something they've never tried before.
Absolutely.
Try what's new. Hello to JP2112. Thanks for tuning in. You are from the future. We appreciate that.
Hi, JP.
Well, not quite 100 years in the future, but almost. So thank you, Jay, for tuning in. Jason Palmer. Yes, we know Palmer. Always trying to chat with the ladies.
Hey,
Jason Palmer's known for.
Always leaves a mark.
Palmer!
Palmer, come on up to Denton, man. We're here. We're hanging out.
I remember you!
So in addition to the 30 taps we have, 25 of those will be reserved for non-alcoholic options. 2 of those are cold brew coffee that's still, and cold brew coffee that has nitro. So the nice thing about still cold brew is you can take that to go in a growler pretty easily. The nitro stuff's a little tougher.
Right.
But if you want to take some cold brew home, I'm not blowing smoke. It's one of the best cold brews I've ever had. We make an amazing cold brew, and it's better than anything I've tasted locally, with the exception of maybe Avoca in Fort Worth, which is on par. And Chris has tried it a few times. I've made a few different versions of it. We're going to constantly switch up the beans that we use. It's going to make them taste different every single time. So kind of look for that. James is mentioning our panini program, so let's just talk about that real quick. We hired a chef. His name is Chad, not me, different Chad. And he has created an amazing panini program for us, including what is, I think, one of the top 3 Cuban sandwiches in Dallas-Fort Worth. I know there's lots of Cuban restaurants. This is not an insult to any Cuban purveyors. It's just what I try compared to anything else I've tried in DFW. There's only maybe 2 Cuban sandwiches that are better than this one. A couple of vegetarian options as well, if that's what you're into. We've got some great mozzarella and basil and balsamic vinaigrette. What's the name of that sandwich? Do you remember?
I can't remember.
Man, I forget the name of it, but it's a common sandwich. It's really, really good.
I do remember the meat lovers option though. That's the Stallone.
The Stallone.
Yep. Which is my favorite of the night or the day.
That's also amazing. Lots of different Italian cured meats on that one.
Oh yeah.
And pressed hot on a screaming hot panini. Gets that bread nice and crispy. Bread from local baker La Spiga, and all these ingredients are to our specs. So we've spec'd everything out exactly the way we want it. It's gonna be a great sandwich program. So definitely don't sleep on that. But getting back to the coffee program, let's just talk about that real quick. Now, Josh, I know you like coffee, but how much of a coffee guy are you? How much do you know about it?
I don't know a whole lot about coffee. Definitely not as much about that as I do about beer. But I love drinking coffee. My buddy in college introduced me to a lot of different things in coffee, but I didn't try to learn it or expand my knowledge of it at all. Just kind of knew that I enjoyed it, knew that I liked all different types, and I kind of learned a little bit about the flavor profiles. It can get really citrusy and kind of biting, or you can have the more chocolate forward, kind of classic roast that you expect from a coffee. But yeah, there's a wide variety of flavor profiles that I didn't know existed until a couple of years ago.
And Emily, are you a coffee drinker?
Oh yeah, I drink it black.
Awesome. That's perfect. My favorite
No
drink.
cream.
My favorite drink in the world is black coffee.
Yeah.
Yep.
Same.
Yep.
It's my favorite. And I can drink it any time of day if it's not too late. So that's when I switched to beer.
Yeah.
Coffee in
Same.
the morning, beer in the evening. That was the whole plan behind Civil Pour anyway.
Well, beer in the evening, coffee in the morning. You gotta switch off.
Sure.
Of course.
I thought that's what I said, but
Oh,
coffee in the
reversed,
morning, beer in
though.
the evening.
It's reversed.
You could do beer in the morning.
you could do beer in the morning,
Yep.
and then you could do coffee at night.
You
But
could. If you need to wake back up and the beer's made you too sleepy.
yeah, you know.
So let's do that. We have we're a multi-roaster coffee house, which means we're going to have a house roaster, but then we're going to have different roasters coming in all the time, different offerings from different parts of the world. Whoever's got some neat stuff available, we're gonna brew that by the cup with a little device we have called the Pour Steady. The Pour Steady is an automated pour-over coffee brewer that takes the human element out of it. So it's basically so a guy, or a girl who's pouring the water over the grounds, they're gonna do it different every time. But a machine does things the same way every time. So it takes that human air out of it, makes coffee by the cup. And if you want to get an Ethiopian that's real juicy and fruity, or if you want to get a Peruvian that's real chocolatey, milk chocolatey, there's gonna be different types
Very
of coffee.
thick and dark.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
So that is a little bit about our coffee program. I want to mention just a couple of more things before we go. We do have 1 or 2 more spots on our team available. It's for a barista/bartender. We've hired 11 people so far, but we're hoping to land between 12 and 14. So 1 or 2 jobs left available. civilpour.com/jobs is where you can apply and check out that position that's open. Above industry average pay. Everybody starts at $9.50 an hour, plus tips. So we kind of expect to pay people well, and if you're a full-time employee, you get benefits as well. So trying to change up the service industry a little bit, do some uncommon things that we don't see every day. And we're pretty excited about it.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if Josh is. But
I'm incredibly excited.
Free play is the best. You should work here.
Civil Pour number 2.
It's the best job ever. That's pretty
Say
much
we're
it.
tied for first. How about that?
The beer is an extra. The arcade games are the reason why you should come here.
Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I think we're going to close it here. I'm Chad with Civil Pour, joined by my esteemed colleague Josh and Emily. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
I had a great time. Now I just have to figure out which beer I'm going to try next.
Yeah.
So thanks, and catch us again next week on Free Plays Twitch.
All right.
Appreciate it. Bye, guys.
Have a good night.
It was nice to meet you.
My ears are always so hot.
I know, dude, I'm sweating.
Yeah.
Ear sweat.
I've never done live video. Thank you. I'm sorry.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We have a special treat for you today. We have a new house band with a new dimension in rock and roll. We have the one, the only Dragon Sound!
Against the ninja, we will fight the battle to win. Against the ninja, we will fight to battle the sin.
This band is the only family I had.
They're all black belts in Taekwondo and they're pretty bad.
I don't want you to mess it up by going out with a second-rate musician like that John character.
They came in here to play goddamn songs for kids!
We will stop the senseless killing. We will end this civil war. We will stop the senseless killing. We'll even up the
Not escape the Miami Ninja!
against the ninja. We will fight the battle to win. Against the ninja. We will fight to battle the sin. Against the ninja. Against the ninja.
Everybody's dead!
Friends through eternity, loyalty, honesty.